whole idea of this is to connect you guys to people that inspire me. I mean, I wrote something this morning, and I have a few concerns, though. Concerns around, I hope that you guys will understand this platform. I hope that you guys will make the best out of it. But the most important thing is, rather than just keep myself, I could put myself in front of you and continue to give you the fish, right? I think it's best that I just connect you with people that inspire me, people that you might never meet, and I'm not joking. Had a senator here before. We've had the former first lady. You can't see her. You can't just see her, right? We've had the tech giant from the United Kingdom who flew in, and no jokes, he flew in for the Connect and Grow to Nigeria to come and meet with you guys here in Ekiti and to speak. I mean, we've had other people, very fantastic people. So today, this woman, Cockshaw, you can't find her anywhere. You can't find her anywhere. So, and these are the people that I listen to. These are the people that impact me. These are the people that support me. They help me. They inspire me. So why not, give you guys the opportunity to directly interface with them. So that's why this is happening today. So please, I hope that you will take ample advantage of this and utilize that opportunity. That being said, if you have questions within the next 18 minutes, let's just go into it.
All right, good afternoon once again. My name is Samuel Oluwaseyi MCBZ. All right, my question is, I've heard a lot of people say I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I think the least number of skill and proficiency I had today is 3. There is nobody less than 3 that has less than 3 proficiencies here. I do this, I do this, I do this. Some are 5, some are 6. Now my question is this. It may not be for me, it may be for someone else. 2018 was the year that someone asked me this question, Yemi Fash. I don't know if you remember him. Yemi Fash asked me, because then I was into 7 or 8 different things. He said, Breezy, when people mention your name, which one do you want them to remember first? And that question, it felt like an insult to me that time. That, what do you mean? Even you that are talking to me, you are 7 things, you are 8 things. Are you trying to limit me? I can build a lot of things at once. But I went back and Grace found me. This is 8 years after now, and I'm happy he asked me that question. So my question to you is, would you advise that someone who has a lot of skills build them simultaneously? If not, why?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Victor Lalaye by name. My question, sir, is I want to get your perspective and probably a clarification on this particular issue. Now, after the part of you getting clarity about what you are doing in life, like getting clarity, there is this building phase you are going to be, and there is this quote that scares me. At the same time, I'm wondering, like everybody would keep building, but not everybody will make it. Now, the thing is, I've had friends and I've spoken with a lot of guys that will start together. Definitely, I thank God for where I am now. But these guys, after gaining clarity on your building, there is this push that you need to get to some certain level before you make it. Some of them are into fraud. Some of them will just, I have friends like that. They might just hit maybe $50,000 and they pump into what they are doing, and then that's how they move, and they will not be poor in life again. While some of them, they just tell you, okay, I met my cousin, she lent me $20,000. I was able to use it. Some of them, maybe they're into something, they just smuggle some money, and that was how they like move. Me, I know I cannot do fraud, right? I need to like, some of my friends, one of my friends, she got a grant. That was what pushed her. But no, that, but the question is, what is the perfect thing? Is it like, and the fear is, if you keep going, like they will tell you, keep pushing, it will not work. Because is it like you want to yeah, let's say all your capital is like, let's say 500k. You want to compare your growth with somebody who has like 20 million liquidity. It's not possible. So what exactly is the perfect formula? And for us that are coming up, like we're actually building, and we don't want to go into, and we are trying to balance religion with faith is what you are doing. So what is the like perfect structure for this thing? When you get clarity and you keep building, definitely you have a cash generating income skill, something that is giving you steady inflow before you say you want to start building. Now when you start building, what should you be looking out for, and what are the opportunities you should tap into? Though before I even ask this question, I've been thinking about some answers, but I just want to be sure I'm on the right path before it's too late. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. So my question is, how do you face resistance? I mean, we would all be great if we don't face resistance, like those things that pulls you back, even when you have the energy, you have the clarity, and you feel like I can do this, and they are just those external factors that just happens. And the second question is, how do you overcome your environment in the sense that, oh, you're in Ekiti, and we have amazing people out there that they have advantage because they are in an environment that is actually very, very good for them, and it's an advantage. So how do you ensure that Ekiti did not, how do I put that question? Ekiti did not overcome your, yes, yes, something like that. So that's my question.
Okay, yeah, once again, good afternoon or evening, everybody. Okay, I think he has already asked one of the questions I filled in the form, and that was his first question. But the second question, which might not be the last, is you made mention of the fact that you brought in different persons who came for this event to also educate and enlighten us. I want to know how you were able to maintain relationship with these people that you look up to, if I should use your words. Yes, I would love to know how you were able to maintain that relationship with them. I mean, what even brought you together, brought you all together, and then how were you able to maintain those relationships?
First rule, don't ask them for money.
That's our rule.
Um, Good afternoon once again, everyone. My name is Marvelous. So, I actually have two questions, and one is kind of building on the first question of the first person that asked a question. Okay, so I was saying that, okay, anytime someone asks me, "Oh, Marvelous, what do you do?" My first response is, "Oh, I do many things that I don't even know." That's because, as I don't know, I just keep uncovering different skills. Like, it's just I don't know, I don't want to say random. So my first question is, because really my initial plan was I want to build a career out of writing, but then as time went on and they discovered, it was actually my church that discovered the compare part of me, and then they're like, "Oh, Marvelous, you should build on this, you should do this, you should do that," and then I became interested in it. So this brings me to my question. One, how do I know what career to stay committed to, or when to move into another one? And the second question is, oh my God. Actually, I have two questions. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
If it doesn't come now, you can pass the line.
Okay.
Good afternoon. So, from my expectation the other time, I said I want to build a relationship that lasts from here, because I believe everyone here has 3 to 5 according to their potentials. So, and my first question would be, when you want to grow in that space of public speaking, what is the best ground to start? And how do one build on that? And also, the second question is, to be where you are today, of course, it cannot be just a one-man mopo. It will be connect and influence and people around you So how do one maintain that according to Washa? How do one maintain that relationship up to that you can call some, because people are available, but you can't throw money into problems. There are times that I think people will just want to do things for you, want to be there for you, want to be loyal for you. How do you get there? How do you be there?
Okay, so the second question is the writing industry and the entertainment industry are crazily crowded. So, so how do I build and stand out even without having connections? Thank you.
Okay. I think that's
Let's pause on that.
okay.
I know there are questions. Yeah, but let me just respond to this one. Okay. Thank you very much. Hopefully, I get to respond to all the questions. And please, don't be in a hurry. Even if I don't get to respond to your questions right now, we can have a chat when we're done. We'll close up from 4 to 6 with the guest mentor. After 6, you can. I expect that you'll wait around, connect and meet people, so you can walk up to me and then we can continue the conversation. And again, before I go into the questions, let me quickly shred a few things, maybe a few expectations that you have. Guys, nobody's going to share their secrets in public. You can't find gold on the street. So, muscle up that if you want to find out all the draconian questions guys have, pause it. You won't. The wisdom around that is to find access in a way and then get into the inner room. And then you can, sometimes you will not even hear it. You will find it. You'll find the answers to the questions. The second one is, it's not all of you that should have questions, right? And I say it, I enjoy it a lot. Sometimes I like gatherings like this, not to come and ask questions, just to listen. Because in listening, I learn, right? So it's not compulsory for you to ask questions. Some of you just need to be here, present, and take it in. Some, it's the energy in the room that will activate that understanding. Some, you'll be hearing things that people are not even saying here. You understand what I'm saying? So please, I just wanted to say those two things, right? So please. And not to say that you will not learn anything here. I'm just saying that I hope you understand what I meant by the first one. Nobody shares their trade secrets in public, right? It's wisdom, please. If you got, how do you, okay, so just to start with Breezy. Yeah, simultaneously, right? What would be my advice? Every human being, this is my ideology, every human being is a tree, but the beauty about you is that you don't have one fruit. You have multiple fruits. So you're a tree that is fruitful. However, you understand that if you continue to produce so many fruits, you'll attract so many kinds of stones and stems. People are trying to go, pluck you. Some will even try to throw stones at you, right? Heavy stones at you, right? Yes. So, so I'm going to pause on that. Ah, so sad, so sad. Then I'm going to pause on that. Can she come in now? Is she ready now? She's coming. Okay, so let me continue. So the wisdom is to learn to define the kind of stone, the kind of stick you want thrown at you. Because if you are a dancer today, the kind of stone you will get is going to be different from when you are a writer, right? The kind of stone, when I mean stone, is just imagine that the stone is attention, right? It's attention. All right, so you're a baker today, the degree of attention you get is different. You are a farmer, the kind of attention you get is different. demography of people, expectations of people, all of that, customers and all of that, down to making money, all of that is different. And because you're a tree with many fruits, you don't want to confuse yourself because you also have one life. Right. So the wisdom is to trim it down to just one or two that you are able to handle. Please, can we stand up and receive our guest mentor with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Please have your seat. Okay, so remain standing. Eric, can we get water? Yeah, you know. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of introduction. And guys, we'll come to the conversation later, right? So, okay, don't worry about the water. I think she has it, right? So, seated right here is, I call her my big auntie, right? And she's one of the biggest influences on my life. I don't know how many calls I got when I posted that she was coming. In fact, even my pastor said he wanted to come today, you know. And when you're looking for somebody who has built so much, yet very simple and quiet, you know, I'm sure some of you have never met her, seen her before, and she's here. I'm sure most of you have not. I'm not also going to talk into the volumes that she controls, but by the grace of God, if you're looking for one or two taxpayers, you know, in Ekiti State, number one or two, it's impossible that you don't mention her. She's so private, and that's why every time I'm drawn to her, she wants to stay very simple. In fact, you don't understand the plenty English that I had to speak to bring her here today. I face panels, plenty panels. So please, guys, for the time that she's going to be here today, please, I beg you to please, in your heart, be ready to learn as much as possible. Don't, just like I said, manage your expectations. All of you that want to know how she made the billions, she will not share it here, right? She will never. But be open to learning in the simplest form possible. And Auntie, these are my guys. All of them have come today to learn from you. And we're so happy to have you. Can we celebrate her properly? Please have your seat. So we're right on time. And yes, that should be a microphone. She's a chief, by the way. And I think she has more than one chieftaincy title. Okay, so I'm going to yield the stage so that we don't waste any time. She's going to speak to us. I've told her just a few minutes to talk from her heart on any matter she would like to share with us. And then once she's done, we can then get to ask questions. All right? So you have the floor.
So thank you very much, Iwai. Thank you for the opportunity to share my experience and to hopefully inspire your mentees. Wow, what a hype. You, eh? So good day, everyone. I believe there's not much introduction, considering the fact that you had done all the hyping. Don't mind the whole chieftaincy title thing. This is just me sitting here before you. Okay, so you have so much hype to this guest speaker, but this is just a humble person seated before you, so just please relax. And I'm delighted to be in this room, you know, seeing beautiful faces and handsome men. I'm ready for an impactful and a knowledge-filled day. So I'm really delightful to be in your midst. But I sit here before you, not as a perfect person, but as a growing individual, you know, as a woman, a friend, a wife, a dedicated mother of 5, and a leader. That's very important, a leader. I know we have graduates in this room. We have people who are working, you know, working class people. We have businessmen and women here. which it will make this gathering an interesting one. But the important thing is you need to ask yourself why you're here. Why are you here? You have come here on your own accord to listen to a certain person, a certain woman. You listen to her share her experience and pick one or two things. And that for me, why you have decided to come to grow with AY is because at some point, at a certain point in your life, you have realized the importance of what they call mentorship in your life. You know, that mentorship is a very key part. For me too, mentorship is one of the trusted and tested aiding tool that has grown a lot. It has made a lot, reach that destination which they want themselves to get to. Because at some point in your life, you have the ideas, you have every single thing you need, but you need that mentorship. You need people who are in the professional line, people who have more insights than you, that will help you, bring out those ideas you have. They will help you amplify them, amplify your skills, make you believe in yourself, throw more insights to those ideas that you have. And then you put them to practice and you see them actually playing out and you'll be like, wow, I'm glad I actually had this mentorship. You understand? And so, having done that, I will tell you that mentorship helped a great number of people who, to climb their career ladder. It has helped a lot in marriages, and it has helped them too in business. I, for one. And that is why we're all here today. I remember when I was young, growing in my career, I was somewhere in the East. I was a science student who schooled somewhere in the eastern part of the country. I was torn between studying and trying to find myself before marriage came in. Marriage came knocking and brought me back to Ekiti State to settle down here. I was born here, by the way. I was born and bred here. And so it didn't feel like, it felt like home to me. But at the same time, my husband was a businessman who was in the construction sector of the industry. He majored into building, distribution of building materials, cement, iron rods, etc. Remember, I was a science student, right? So that sector was like a whole new thing to me. It sounded strange. It was a sector I had no clue, no knowledge whatsoever about. But I stood my ground, and I told myself, oh, life has thrown lemon at you. Why not make lemonade out of it? You have found yourself in a completely new place. The one thing you need to know is you have to make yourself relevant in a particular place you find yourself. And on the verge of doing that, I knew I had to grow. I knew I had to make my impact felt in that business. I knew that business had to feel my relevance. I had to make a change. This business is here. What does it do? Oh, okay. It's at this level now. And so I had to define what I wanted. I knew I had to take the business from that level at which it was to a level which I defined as a global level. I have to give it a global face. Let that name not just be known in Ekiti, but, globally. And so I took that. That was my mission at that point in time. And in doing that, I realized that if I wanted to grow that business, build a steady home, and at the same time, be that woman I envisaged myself to become, I needed three things. I needed clarity, I needed courage, and I needed consistency in my life, in what I needed to do. Clarity. What do I mean by clarity? This is where you ask yourself who you are. and what you want to do. You know, that's where mission, I'm sure you all have heard, you must have heard of mission and vision, right? Yeah. So that's where it comes to play. That's where it comes in. Mission in the sense that you have to ask yourself, who are you? What is your essence of existence? Why do you exist in this place? What is the reason you exist? And in answering that question, you have defined your mission. And to formalize it, you just have to put in like a phrase or maybe a statement called mission statement. And that is what is mission statement. You'll be hearing mission statement, vision statement. That's just it. Defining what your purpose is. Oh, what are you here for? And then you define your vision. In defining your vision, you ask the question of where are you looking at yourself, in future? Where do you want to see yourself in future? How do you want to be seen in future? What destination are you getting to? That is when you define your mission. And then, Okay. So for me, after defining your vision, having your vision statement and your mission statement, you will tell yourself, okay, so what are the things you now need? You cannot arrive at your destination without clearly defining where you want to get to. Where are you going to? What are the things you need? And that is where you now know that you have to have a goal. When you have a goal, what do you want to achieve? I want to achieve this. What are the means that I need? What are the things that I need, the tools that I need, the strategies that I need to achieve this goal? That is called objectives. And then when you have them, you clearly define them, bearing in mind that goals, when you talk about goals, you target growth. And growth is measured in percentage. When you're targeting growth, you tell yourself, oh, at some point, okay, in January, this is where I am. This is where I made. In February, where do I want to be? At what percentage do I want to increase my growth? Do I want to increase by 5% or 10%? That is how you measure your growth. Your goal has to target profitability. And for profitability, you tell yourself, oh, I want to make this. This is what I made. If you're in the working class, this was the salary I received. And in that way, there are three things you have to consider when you're talking about your profit. If you're a businessman or a working class person, after you receive your wages, you have to know that your salary has to be put in, be divided into three. Either 50% or 40% has to go into your daily expenses, your usual housing, your day-to-day activity running. And then the remaining 40%, 50%, then you do 30. The 30 should go into what you like to do, your lifestyle. Who do you want to inspire? Who do you want to invest in? You need to give back to the society. In doing that, your money will grow. You will see people, you will motivate people. For me, the biggest investment you'll have to do is to invest in somebody, in a person. I've had people who I met along the line, at the early stage of my life, which I've had to help. Until today, I don't have to start measuring what they do and what they bring to my life and how they are now helping me to network. I don't think, for the past 5 years, I don't think I've bought a phone with my money. It's people that have helped, that has been gifting me phones every single year, the latest ones, because they have grown. They had left that place where I left them, and with my help, they had grown. And so you will see the dividends will be coming to you. It will keep coming. Everywhere, in every person you invest into, be sure there is reward. It might not be there in immediate, but you will surely have that reward. And lastly, the third purse you need to put your money is in the investment and saving purse. This is under profitability. You have to invest your money in a place that would yield, every month, every time is growing. Either somebody is putting it there, or where you invested in, it's making that money multiply. That is very important. And so, also bear in mind that your growth must target efficiency. It must target efficiency. It must target retention. You have to retain, be retained in where you are. What you do, you have to be known there. And retention is very important. And then lastly, into customer service. Having to know what your customers think about you is very important. Because in that way, you will get reviews, either positive reviews or negative reviews. They will definitely have a way to inform and conform your decision making in life. If you have positive reviews, you know what to do. You would hold on to it, this is good, and then you keep making it better. And if you have negative reviews, come on, you have to make it change. Do not let it weigh you down, do not let it bring you down, but it should be a stepping stone for you to make yourself better. And at least now you have defined where you are, what you want, and then the next thing is to set that ball rolling. Let your strategies come in, Your strategic thinking personality would evolve. And the second one is courage. When they told me that I would be in my husband's business, that fear engulfed me. That fear that, this is a sector you don't even know how to start. But I didn't allow it to weigh me down. I didn't allow it to bring me down. I told myself, look, I will do this, and they will be marveled at the level I will bring this business to. And here am I today. At first, I made my husband my mentor because he started the business. At some point, you need to have a starting point. I made him my mentor because I needed for him to bring that business to that level it was then, he had, knowledge of the whole nitty-gritty about the whole business. And so I knew I had to humble myself to learn everything I needed to learn, the fundamentals. After that, and then I told myself, okay, now it's time to add my touch, put in my touch. Let them now know that, there's a change. And that's courage. Courage is when you try to overcome that fear that has come to discourage you, that fear that has come to tell you, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. All that fear is a lie. You will see me doing this and I will excel. And you'll see your results showing for it. And so I went there, took the challenge, studied the business. I went to the market, studied the market, the market structure. How is this cement being sold? Where is it even produced? How is it lodged? How is it being haulaged? What are the measures, the units, the rubrics around it? How is the pricing of this cement? How is the pricing of the building materials? What are the factors that affect the market? What are the customers? Where are they? Where are the core markets? Every single thing. And when I realized, I knew these things, I had them at the finger or at the tip of my finger. And then I set the ball rolling. So with that, do not be afraid to apply for any job. Do not be afraid to start any business. Do not be afraid to speak up. Your next level is standing behind the things you believe in. And then I told myself, okay, what was obtainable? He had this manual recordings, because that was how he was taught where he had his apprenticeship. He came there and I said to myself, oh, for me to grow this business, this manual recording has to stop. I have to leave this level at which we're operating. It wasn't a difficult, it wasn't so much difficult, but at the same time it was a very taxing one. Because I didn't want him to see it as if I was coming to take his business away from him. I wanted him to realize that I was coming in as a helping hand. I needed him to know that for us to evolve, to lead this level at which you're operating, you have to follow some certain trend. You have to align with what is going on. You have to build that business, take it from that level and make it attractive to investors, be it local investors or foreign investors. And so I told myself, oh, I needed some basics. You need to know, ask yourself, what are the skills you possess? Because for you to do all these, you have to possess the technical skills needed. You have to be efficient. You have to have that mindset of a leader. When you know that, oh, you have people to lead, you have a team to gather, you know exactly what you need to do, the departments you need to set up in that your business. And that leads me to the third one, consistency. Now, okay, consistency is the secret most people ignore. Everyone likes motivation, but no one likes to be disciplined. That's where your value comes in. Your self-control comes in. And success is not built in a day. It's not an excitement, It's not built on excitement, but it's built on daily and repeated actions. Okay, you want to start a business. You need to know, first of all, that you don't just start doing the buying and selling. Even if you're working for somebody, you don't just do things without keeping records. You have to keep your records. And so, as somebody who wants to lead people or who wants to form a team, I knew I had to have some basic bookkeeping knowledge. Yes, my husband brought in some, but I had to modify the things he had. He had a sales book, because for a business person, normally you need to know, it starts with purchasing, right? When you purchase, you need to keep record of your purchases. You can call it anything. Call it purchase book, call it anything you want, but you have to keep your record. Secondly, you have to keep the record of how you brought it in, how was it haulaged. And so you have your purchase price. You have, we call it purchase price, cost price, and then you have a landing price. So when you bring in those goods, you need to factor in all the expenses, all the overhead costs, the haulage costs, the offloading and loading costs, every expenses you incur during bringing it in. You factor everything in. And then, divide it amongst every single item you bought. If you have 20 items, then divide it amongst them, and you get your landing cost for each item. And then you have to keep that record. When you keep that record, you have your sales book. In your sales book, you have to record your daily. Do not let anything leave your store without having a record of it. Because you need to go back to check yourself. When you start a business, you don't have the resources to hire professionals. You have to do everything yourself. So that when you bring in those professionals, they won't be seeing you as a novice. When you're talking to them, they will know that, oh, this person also has something upstairs. It's just that she doesn't have that professionality, that professional touch, or the professional way to represent the account. That's what it is. And so you have your sales book. You record your expenses. Your daily expenses has to be recorded. You categorize it, do whatever you need to, but you need to have them put in the right expense heads. After putting that, then your inventory. Very important. Keep your inventory. Have what you call, is that you draw it up yourself, or you have like a manual stock card, or you can use anything to keep your record. Anything as simple as even Excel. You can use Excel to keep your books. You can use Google Sheet to keep your books, whatever that will make it easy for you in the elementary level. And then your inventory, you need to know what comes in. When you purchase, you put it into your inventory. And when you sell, through your sales book, you deduct your inventory. So that at any point in time, you know what you have, what your stock balance is. So that when you're taking your records, you have to factor that in to get a good, account. Having done all that, you need to now come back to evaluate yourself, to check yourself. Because if you don't do that, you won't even know. One day you will just wake up and see that everything is gone. Because you're not checking yourself. You're not checking your accounts. And so, when you're saying that, you're doing all that you need to do, you then need to do more. You need to expand. That is when you need more knowledge. And that's when that mentorship comes to play a very, very vital role. That's when you need to now, you check yourself and see if you can afford professionals. And then you start bringing in professionals. You structure yourself, which is the level I am at right now, currently though. You bring in professionals that would help you, those things you know, that would help you narrow them down and give you the report the way you want it. And so that's consistency. The more you keep doing that, the more you keep doing your books, you keep writing your books, you keep, that way you know which one, where you have loopholes. And as you find them out, you begin to patch them. If you don't do them consistently, if you do this one and leave it, you won't find out where you're losing money or where something is wrong. But the more you make your people, you make your team members do what they're meant to do, you make them capture your expenses daily, you capture your expenses daily, you do things you want to do daily, you will find out what is wrong. You find out that thing that is wrong in that your report or in that thing you're doing. And that aside, I had to manage myself to marry between marriage and my business so that none of them would suffer. And in doing that, I realized that marriage is not limitation. It's a responsibility. And if you manage it well, it becomes a support system for you and not a setback. I had to learn that communication was a very great tool I used. It was very important. Because when I had to see my husband in the office, I saw him as my boss. But when I went home, I saw him as a husband. Sometimes some things might go wrong. He might not have the report he wanted in time. And then he would have to raise his voice a little and say, what? I never allowed it weigh me down. I never made people who were with me see that, I was offended. No. I was answering him as a boss. And I got the correction that he was trying to give me, built on it, I leveraged on it, built myself to be a better person. And in doing that, I had to, when I go home, and then I'll communicate with him and tell him, look, this is how to do things. Even if you have to correct me here, you have to do this, you have to do it that way. And that communication helped me a whole lot. I had to be patient with him. I had to exert, that attribute of respect. I had to respect him, which, no matter what. Even in the office, respect, is reciprocal, right? You respect your team members while talking to them, while making them, getting them to align with your goal, align with your vision. You have to also exert respect. Because respect, I feel respect is not forced, it's earned. And so when you talk with people with respect, you would earn their respect too. They will learn to respect you. They will learn to listen to you. Be a good communicator. Not just a communicator, also be a good listener. Because you cannot expect to be talking to people and be communicating to people and you will not want to listen to them. They might have a different opinion. Listen to them and then let them understand. Show more light to what you're trying to make them understand. And you will see both of you coming to an agreement. You come to a compromise. And they will understand every single thing you are trying to make them know. And then seek partnership. Don't see yourself as a boss every time you have to look, boss now. See yourself as a partner to whoever, those you want to work with, those you're working with. And it will help you communicate with them better. It will help you, have them relaxed, have them, you bring their mind, have them align with you, with what you want to do, what you're building. It was very difficult when I started structuring my business because I had to seek professional help. I had to spend a lot to bring in people because then I didn't even have an accounts department because I was doing everything myself. I didn't have internal control department. I didn't have, the transport schedule. Everything was just modeled up. But sometimes, in doing that, it won't go smoothly. You will fail along the line. But the most important thing is when you fail, to not get stuck down there. Get up and keep moving. Because a lot of people are watching you, and they derive strength from you. They are drawing strength from you. And when you fall, when they see you down there, what would they do? No. They should see you as a leader whom they trust. When you say something, your word should be your bond. Exhibit honesty in everything you do. Exhibit, that power, that resilience power. Exhibit resilience in everything you do. Because if you don't have that resilient spirit, you will not grow. You won't recover from your past mistakes. Your past mistakes should not mar you. They should be your stepping stone in getting better. And having said all that, I just want to recount what we have said. While growing, you build relationships. I encourage you to build relationships. I encourage you to live by example. When you're leading people, you need to tell them, show them the power of honesty. Show them that in whatever, situation you find yourself, honesty gives you that power to come out of any situation, any problem at all. And that is when they start seeing you as a leader. I had to build relationship with my team. And when I knew I was ready to pay people or to, we all know that getting professionals is not cheap. And for the first time last year, I had a HR because I was doing everything myself. But you have to learn to seek help. And you will notice that when you seek that help, when they come, you will notice the difference. Because those ones, it's their profession. You just started this as a lay person. But they will bring in professionalism into that thing you want them to do. And when they're doing it, even you yourself will start seeing results. And so you display discipline, financial discipline. Do not spend because you feel, you got money from the bank, you're seeing your account, you're seeing billions, you're seeing millions. You have to be financially disciplined. Do not spend because you see it. Do not let your children know that this money you're taking around, you're using, is actually your money. No. You set it aside because you know you're heading somewhere. and you sought help because you needed to grow. So do not allow that you have seen that money or you saw that the whole wealth, you then mix everything together, forgetting where you came from. Always be checking yourself. Always check where you are, how far you have grown, and you keep learning. Keep learning. You learn, you unlearn, and you relearn. At some point in your life, you would see the need to evolve. See yourself as someone who needs to grow. So seek mentorship, which is part of what we're doing today. Seek to grow yourself by engaging yourself in courses. Go online, research. Yes, you might have some of this strategic thinking in you, but you need to amplify it, which is what I'm currently doing though. You need to amplify it. You need to tell yourself that, look, you need to have more in-depth knowledge in this thing. If you want to, I need to get professionals in accounting. I don't want to be talking to them as their MD or be talking to them as their leader, and then they will see me as a novice. They will see me as, what is she talking about? Does she even know you're talking to? But when I'm talking to my accountants here, you will not even know I didn't study accounting. You will not know I was a science student. A lot of people come to my office and they think I actually studied accounting. I know what it is. I know what I want. Explain it to them. Then what you're paying them for is to put that touch of professionalism into it. To represent it. Represent it and let me see. That's what I'm paying you for. But I know what I made. And when you know what you're doing, if you see a wrong account, you will know. Because it is your own. You own your race and you're running it. Do not let anyone run your race for you. You're unique in your own way. You know, that uniqueness you bring into that business is what makes it yours. That's when you own it. Whether you're doing business or you're working, you're in a department, somebody's department. But you need to own that department. You need to let them know that only you can do this. Not by saying it, but by doing it. Let your actions speak for you. Let your actions do the talking rather than your mouth. Because if you talk too much, you will lose focus. You will lose motivation. And then you will lose respect. Because no one wants to have a leader who talks too much, who spends most of her time or most of his time talking instead of getting that work done. You need to have that spirit, that team spirit, to lead your team, to bring them to align with you, to attain your goal. And so my final words to you, let me leave you with this, because your background doesn't define your future. Where you're coming from doesn't define where you're going to or what you're getting at. There's always a starting point for everybody. When I took over the business aspect of my husband's business, we were not selling up to 100 trucks. But to the glory of God, I don't think there's any state in Nigeria you will say that sells cement, I don't take cement to. There is no place. Now we sell over 800 trucks, 1,000 trucks. Because I had to be consistent with what I was doing. Picking and seeing, trying to notice where you're doing it wrong. Not trying to feel I know it all. I try to listen to people, get opinions. You might not actually knowing that you're teaching me that thing. I don't have to let you know my weakness because I'm your leader, please. But I'm actually learning from you. You will say one or two things, and I'll be like, oh, okay, okay. But I've learned from you. I will learn that thing, put it to practice, and you will all see it happening. You will see the results. And please, be positive in everything you're doing. You see this mouth, this tongue, very powerful. By the time you profess negativity into what you're doing, you will know what goes wrong. But be positive in everything you're doing. Tell yourself, I can do it. Everybody knows me. I don't have anything called impossibility in my diary. Nothing is impossible. The other time I had to, I saw that my sales were going, it was coming down, it was going low. And I asked myself, what is going on? I found out that it was the logistics part of my business that was giving me the problem. And I said to myself, how would I have over 100 trucks, of which each and every one of them was supposed to produce 8 to 10 trips? If everyone was doing what it was meant to do, these trucks, when they walk, will even give me that my target. You set targets for yourself and you will achieve it. And then I checked, what is this problem? And I found out that I had a lot of people not doing what they're meant to do. Not checking what they're meant to check. Because you have to keep track of your trucks. You say this truck has to do 10 trips in a day. Why will you not achieve it? Before this truck leaves, you're seeing it, you're tracking this truck. I'm just using this, the logistics aspect as an example. But you relate it to whatever is the challenge you're facing in anything you're doing. And then I said to myself, if you're able to track this truck and say, okay, at this point in time, this is where this truck is. Is at the plant right now trying to load. The next minute before you leave the place, you check this truck, it has loaded. Why wouldn't you call this driver to say, I see you have loaded. You know we have a target to meet. You know if you keep running, don't run at night. When you get to so place, you rest. If it's a place that you could get to that same day, you motivate that driver to get to that location that same day. This is just within one day. And if you're to run 10 trips in a month, how many trips do you think, if you do this, how many trips do you think you can run in a week? You can make that driver run 2 to 3 trips in a week. 3 to even 4 trips, depending on how you motivate that driver. And then this driver gets you, before he gets there, you're telling the people in charge, hey, look, this driver is on his way. I hope he has customers to offload for already. You have done that work. And that thing that will cause that delay when that driver gets there, you have solved that problem. As the driver is getting there, he already has customers to offload for. He offloads. And then you're telling this driver, please keep it up. Go, 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 go. You're calling the person at the plant, telling him this driver is on his way back. You're dispatching this driver, making sure he doesn't have any delay when he gets to load. When he gets to the filling station, he's taking his fuel, he's taking his road expenses, he's going back to the plant to load. Tell me why you will not meet that target. And so, in staying focused, be at alert. Do that thing you're meant to do on a daily basis. You will meet your target. My target today is this. Set targets for yourself. Very important. Train yourself. If you're in the sales department, if you're in a business, without targets, you cannot achieve anything. Then it's not just to set targets for yourselves. When you set that target, you check that target to make sure it is being achieved. Do not leave it to the end of the month. Because if anything is going wrong, you will not even notice until the end of the month and you see that, oh, you did not even achieve anything you wanted to achieve. But if you check this, your target, every single day, that thing that made you not achieve that daily target, you would identify it. You will find it out. If it is a problem, you will solve it immediately. That is what has helped me. I was identifying that problem. Immediately, I was not leaving it. Because if you leave it, it will stay there. If it is somebody that was working with you that didn't do what it's meant to do, you will find it out and prefer a solution to it before it is late. Because leaving it to the end of the month, you would, before you know anything, you're down there. And you'll be asking yourself, what happened? Why didn't I do this? What you should have corrected a long time before the end of that month. So if you can, you may not have everything figured out right now. And that is okay. Eventually, while doing it, you will figure it out. A lot of us don't know what to do. Not because you don't have the expertise, not because you don't have what it takes to do it, but because you have failed to plan out your time well. Forgetting that if you leave anything undone, that thing will not, it won't do itself for you. You will come back there and meet it. When I'm talking to my staff, sometimes I tell them, let me give you an example. For instance, you leave some dishes in your kitchen. You go to sleep, probably because you were tired or something. You come back the next morning. Believe me, you will not just meet only the dishes there unwashed. You have invited cockroaches, rodents, roaches, everything you can think of into your kitchen. And so if you were supposed to use like 5 minutes to wash those dishes, it will take you 15 minutes to get those things out of that kitchen, that sink first, before you will wash that dishes. You have multiplied that time. Before you know it, you've spent triple the time you would have used to do that thing you're supposed to do. And so don't leave anything undone. Do it on daily basis. If you leave it, you will create backlogs for yourself. And in trying to meet up, to finish up your backlog, you keep creating more. You want to finish up the work you left last week. You keep creating more. You won't do anything today. That work you're supposed to record today will be there, undone. And then it will keep piling. There will be no end to it. But at some point, if you left something undone, you pick yourself again and tell yourself, look, okay, I'll finish today's own. Finish up today's own. Then you keep going back. Go back to whichever one you left undone. Before you know it, you finish it all. But do not leave that day's work undone. Because if you want to start from where you stopped, it will never end. Finish today's own, go back to quickly finish what you left, and continue. And then you're looking at where you're headed at. And you tell yourself, look there, we are getting there. So please, I will urge you all to stay focused, stay consistent, stay open to learning. You have to learn. There's this adage in Igbo language that says, you cannot watch a masquerade from one position. You have to go around, to see every aspect of that masquerade and to be able to catch every glimpse of it. You cannot stay at a place and expect to evolve. No. You have to constantly be training yourself. You have to constantly upgrade yourself to no matter what sector you are. If you don't do that, you'll be stuck at that place and you will never evolve. And so I will tell you that greatness is not reserved for special people. It is not reserved for special people. It is available for those who have seen it and who are willing to harness it and willing to pursue it. If you pursue it, you will get it. It won't come to you. You have to make that effort to pursue it. And when you do that, the sky will be your starting point. So thank you very much once again for having me.
Great. Okay. I'm not going to put her on the spot. But I hear a lot of things there. And before we start asking questions, Eri, never leave anything undone. Did you get that? I mean, when you were speaking, because I know a few people here, most of them, I was just saying, hey, that one touched. There was one that touched you, JP. Did you get that one? Aha. And I thank you so much for sharing from your heart. And I'm sure we have learned one thing or the other. Can we celebrate her one more time? Okay. Before we start the questions, I thought of it and I was going to use Atinuke is the personal assistant to her, by the way. Can we celebrate Atinuke? So, I was going to write a story about Atinuke, but I wanted her to hear me first so that, she will not go and read it and say, who is using her as motivation or storytelling. So, and this is a lesson for young men who feel privileged when you have access to power and you feel like you're bigger than people. Listen to this. So I know Atinuke is a techie who came to one of the establishments that I manage through someone, an ACA. And auntie, there's a reason why I'm saying this. And then she came in. She wasn't even like the regular, like an appendage. Forgive me for using that word. And came in, wanted to learn. She had the skills, but wanted to improve. And Atinuke started getting into the room with our meetings. And, it was easy for anyone to say, who's this one? And talk down on her. You're not even a part of our staff. We don't even pay you anything. I know how much they pay you, right? And Atinuke spent her time in the establishment, went ahead, got extra qualifications, and guess what? It was my own auntie, my big auntie, that was telling me about Atinuke and told me, I have one PA now. I said, She said she knows you. I said, she knows me. Her name is Atinuke. It didn't click until the day she gave me an appointment. And guess who I met? The almighty me that I met at the door to see my big auntie was Atinuke. I never would have thought. Atinuke can decide and say, Shebi, you are always bossing me around that time and can delay me there. She would delay me, and because she's a very busy person, she would think that she's my PA, she's protecting my time, I'm a very busy woman. She will not know that Atinuke is probably punishing me for being an horrible person to her. And so the lesson here is, guys, don't look down on anybody. Today, I couldn't even be calling her because she's very busy. It's Atinuke that was calling. I was calling to say that, help me make sure that she gets here, or whatever questions she has, it's Atinuke. I would have thought, who would have ever thought that this same Atinuke, that Atinuke I knew, will now be the gatekeeper to this woman. So please, I hope you get the lesson. Do you get the lesson? Never look down on anyone. At any advantage position that you are, big or small, employed them, you are the one paying them, doesn't matter. Respect people, right? So, Auntie, I said I wanted to tell that story because it's important. I told a friend of mine that is always insulting girls this same story too, and I hope that he has learned. So, guys, you have the floor. Me, I can always ask her questions anytime. So, the floor is yours. I see. And so, please, let's begin. I think we still have about maybe about an hour. So.
All right, thank you very much for coming to mentor us this evening. My name is Ayo-Akande. I'm the video editor for AY Nigeria brand. I can call myself his creative head and his media head. You've spoken so well, and one of the points that stood out for me was your growth must target efficiency. That's powerful. So I have a few questions here. The first one is mentorship, and I'll just be reading from my note. I hope you don't mind, ma.
That's fine.
Thank you. What do you have to say to having so many people who wants to receive from you or grow through you and don't want to be valuable? And I put column. What metrics do you use to filter mediocrity? I need you to speak on that. Second one is fear. I think from what you said, I think the definition of fear for me, from what you've spoken about today, is that we have people, for example, now, when we start asking question, I'm very sure, and this is not to offend anybody, you see people who will tell you, who will say, my name is so person, I don't have opportunity for this, I live in so place, I'm an orphan, stuff like that. They just want you to pity, it's just like picturing where you are coming from and what you are going through. So I wrote here, how do you overcome that blame game mindset? Oh, I'm being disadvantaged, I don't have anybody to help me. I'm sure that if you are saying this same story somewhere else, it's because maybe her husband has money, she has people who can give her funds. How do you overcome that? How do you have to, when you have reasons to be a mediocre, how do you balance that? The last one is helping hand, and I have this problem a lot as a creative. How do you help someone and not be overly enthusiastic? I have that very tendency. I'm on a project now as a creative director, and I see what you need to do, and you are my boss. This now becomes very, very hard when I have a very close relationship. Now it's growing from being a boss to me now. You are now becoming my maybe egbon that I can just use. When you have a relationship with somebody that you can talk to in pidgin and send stickers, and how do you now? It's getting very close. Do you get what I'm saying, man? So how are you able to draw the line, and you are helping, but you are not being overly enthusiastic? It's not looking like you want to sub this vision. Is it your idea? Now it's turning to is your own. So how do you balance that? How do I balance that as a creative? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So I'll start with the last one.
Yes.
I'll start with the last one. So when I was talking, I said something like, the greatest investment you would make is in a person. Why did you help that person? You helped that person because it depends on your own definition, like your motive while you were helping that person. For me, when I help people because I feel God has placed me in that position to help those people. And I'm not helping that person to take that glory. I'm helping that person. When I derive joy in helping people, what I know when I tell myself, oh, you have done well, is when I see that person I have helped grow. My joy would be in even when you grow bigger than me. So why would I want to own? Why would I want to take glory? Before I would even help you, no one will help someone who is useless. No one will want to help someone who has nothing in his or her head. You will want to build a network. You want to help someone that people will see tomorrow and say, you met this person. I just came across one lady, Joyce Awoshika. And I got to know she was an alumni of Tony Elumelu Foundation. I didn't know that. I'm sure when she said that, people saw what she was doing. And then when she mentions where her beginning was from, she has given credit to those people. And that is it. When you're helping people, you don't take credit. You don't help them to take that credit to say, no, you have to report to me. You have to do this. You help them because you feel this life. This person has something in him or her. He just needs that push. And God has placed you there to be that person's helper. Your helpers are scattered all over. They're on the four corners of the earth. When your time is right, you will connect to yours. And once you connect to that yours, if it's a good helper, that person is helping you to bring out what is in you and not to promote him or herself. Does that answer your question? You're promoting that person. You're making that person, you're fulfilling a purpose in that person's life. You are just an instrument. You're not made to take any glory. But along the line, if that person chooses to be grateful, when God healed those 3 lepers, one of them came back to be grateful. You understand? He didn't do that to take the glory. Nobody even knew he did that. But people knew he did something when that other person came to do what? To thank him. And that is it. You will see people that your own glory will come when that person decides to speak up, to tell his or her story, to say, this is my journey, and this was who God used as an instrument. You don't even know the level at which you will be then. You don't know people that will be listening. And in doing that, you have fulfilled your own purpose, and you would gain that dividend. And so the second one, what was the second one again?
People come to you to try to emotionally blackmail you, and to seek for help. How do you manage it?
Okay. So you mean for me or for the person?
So how do we not use it? So the thing is, how do we not use it? My name is so person. First of all, I'm not eating today. I came here hungry, but I want to be there. I want to receive from you. How do we not use it? How do we not make people pity us? We don't want to be pity. How do we not play the pity card?
Okay, so I think it has to do with your person. You have to tell yourself, ask yourself what you want in life first. Do you want to be a beggar all your life? Or do you want people to see what you're made of and help you bring out that thing in you? Everyone is unique in its own nature. I hope you know that. I tell people, I say, you have your signature, right? You see, people are professionals at forging signatures. But no matter how they forge that signature, yours is peculiar to you. If you come and sign that your signature, they will see that difference. People who are, it's their profession to actually watch it, see it, there will be a difference. So you need to ask yourself, what is it you want to do? And whatever you're doing, people are watching you. You're not just there. That name you want to give yourself, whatever you call your dog is what it is. I hope you know that.
Yes.
So if you tell yourself you're hungry when you're not hungry, you'll become hungry. Mm-hmm. That thing you call yourself, that is what it will be. But believe you me, whoever that has attained a certain point in life is not a dullard. That person will know when you're telling the truth or not. Nobody attains a certain stage in life and will not have that good sense of humor or good sense of judgment. So whatever you do, you need to tell yourself, people are watching you. And what are you selling to people? What are you telling people? Even if you end up getting your way into that person's life, right? If you end up achieving that your aim, and you get what you want to get. Remember I said when I was talking that one of the key things that helped me, because you need to have a core value. One of my core values is honesty. You need to be honest in anything you build on lies will fade away. But if you build anything on strong, you will see customers come to us saying, look, we want to do this, they will bring a customer. And then they will tell you they want to buy 10 sheets of plates, but they want you to write 20. I'm sorry, I cannot do that. They all know. And they'll tell you, don't go to Gilbert, he will not do that one. But if you want me to give you a discount because you brought somebody for me, I will. But telling me to write 10 when I actually gave you 5, my receipt is carrying 5. And then when I get there to where I want to supply you, that person sees it. You receive 5. Where is my 10? Whose name did you spoil? I spoiled my name. Do you understand it? So in anything you're doing, you feel you want to get away with it, you're doing yourself. Because people are watching you. Even if you get away with it at that particular point in time, it will come back to you. What goes around comes around. You see that thing you felt you got by lying, you will lose it in one way or the other. That is life. I have come to realize that. So in everything we are doing, uphold honesty. Let people trust you. If you say you have not eaten, it's fine. You see, these fingers, all fingers are not equal. Some people are meant to be there, meant to be greater than the other ones. And some people are meant to be, they are built for as helpers. And some are just there, no matter what they do, it's just not adding up. You can't kill them. But in one way or the other, when the right person finds them and picks them up, that person will help him or her find where he or she is relevant. I don't believe there is somebody on this earth that is useless. No. You just need to find that strength. You need to find that place where you're relevant. That place where you have passion. You will see, like you said, you design, you're his. Yeah. I will tell you, if you go into another profession or another side of, you will not be relevant there. But because you have found your passion, you have found your area, that is why you have made yourself relevant. And so please, honesty is the key to everything. And whatever you do, it comes back at you. Thank you. So have I been able to answer that question? Thank you.
Is that all? The first question.
Yeah, so what metrics do you use to filter majority? How do you balance having so many people and they are not being valuable to you and they are just around? You just have them around and they are feeling important.
Well, sometimes, like I told you, I don't feel someone is completely useless, right? My mom used to tell me that if you have 10 friends, give them 10 seats. You will give somebody a seat that is close to you. You will give somebody a seat that is farthest to you. That person still has his or her relevance. It might not just be as important as the person sitting closest to you, but it's still in that space. This world is big enough to accommodate everyone, even the mad ones. But what do you want? Whenever I need you, is it not thugs that people use to achieve things? To you, they are criminals, they will not even come near me. But to some people, they are their best friends. Is it not thugs that somebody used to achieve? I don't even want to go there. Some thugs are richer than me and you. They are thugs. To us, they are thieves. But they are relevant to that person. So there are a lot of them. You have your ways. You have what you need. I'm telling you based on myself, right? I can have a lot of people. I have only one best friend in Ajo here. Another one in Ekiti. But I have tons of friends. Tons of friends. It doesn't mean those ones are mine. When I need to talk about certain things, I know who to call. When I need to do certain things, I need to. If you need to know where the arbor is here, you know who to call. If you had chased that person away, where will you get that information from? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Everyone is important at some point in life. When you need to ask some stupid questions, you should have some stupid people around to ask. And when you need to ask some intelligent questions, you know who to ask. But just make sure, whatever you do, uphold your value. Do not allow anyone influence you negatively. Nobody can tell me today, oh, you're moving with this person. Now, you're this person. Nobody can influence me, excuse me. No. I would rather influence you. Everyone that has come close to me will tell you, nobody comes close to you and will not have one or two things to learn positively. I have a friend that told me, oh, it was when I came close to you that I knew you dare not visit somebody in the hospital empty-handed. Even if you don't have anything. One apple. How much is one apple? If you give that person apple, that person needs that apple. It's not fruit. The person will never forget it than when you go there empty-handed. And he said to me, since then, I never visit a sick person without anything. Another person said to me, it was from you I learned. I learned that you can't invite me for a function. Because I see people and I'll be like, why would somebody invite you to come and celebrate with me? You come there, I give you food, I give you water, I give you drinks, you are happy. You know I have spent money. If you're getting up from there to leave, please, no matter how small it is, put that thing in an envelope and give that person. The lesson here is not in the amount that you gave, but that motive behind it. The fact that you're telling that person, you have done well. I know you have spent. I'm not giving you what will replenish what you have, but at least to tell you that you have tried in hosting us. That will go a long way. And that person might have capacity more than you. I hope you know that. Yes. In returning that gesture, you will be surprised how that person will come and attend your own event in a way you never expected. Do you understand? So everyone is important. You don't have to chase people. No. But just maintain your own value. Do not let your barrier be broken by, uneven people. Let everyone be in their lane. Give them their seats. Let them sit and enjoy the world. The world is a free place. When you need them, you make them know where they are relevant. Have I answered your question? Where they are relevant. Because they are also relevant in their own. Like I said, when I want to ask stupid questions, you can't ask an intelligent person stupid question, right? You won't get the answer you want. When you want to ask that kind of question, you know who to call. I know someone today who said what made him get to where he is today was a response he got from a madman. Yes. That response he got from a madman I think it was Peter Obi, never left his head. And he said he applied that word from a madman. The madman said to him, I don't know why you're looking for criminals. You know where they are. Pick that criminal. You pick a thief and tell that thief, look, guard this door. I have 2 million naira here in this room. And you're the one I want to. Did that thief not become relevant to you? Yeah. Do you understand it? If you take an upright person and tell that upright person to guard that door, that upright person can be attacked. And those goods, they're carted away. But put a criminal there. That criminal will die guarding that place. You will see that criminal turning to someone with integrity. Because he knows if that thing is missing, you think it was him. Yeah. Do you understand it? So he will not want to. You have done one thing. You have made him realize where he's relevant. You have made him realize that he can change to be an upright person. You have automatically made him realize that he's an upright person. He's just the one giving himself a bad name. He has guarded that thing. You came back and met that thing intact. Which uprightness is more than that? He has done that job for you. And so you have used that person that people think is useless to achieve that thing. When you're coming to him, you now tell him, did anything miss there? No, sir, no, man. Are you seeing that you're not a thief? So stop calling yourself a thief. And you can do much more. You can do much more. Now you know you can do this. So find yourself and make yourself a great person.
Yes, thank you very much, man. Those answers, they are powerful. So the way you answer those questions, it's like you carry so much substance, like more like they are like in you, like you have furnished your interior to like to the point that you have answers to, and they are like very powerful. So my question is, how do you enlarge your heart to contain these thoughts? And okay, more like how do you learn? So that's the question.
I learned from experience. Like I told you, be consistent, right? In trying to keep doing what you're doing, you will learn. In all honesty, that was how I learned. To try to continue to do this, while doing that thing, you'll be seeing those mistakes. And when you see a mistake, don't leave it. Correct that mistake. While correcting that mistake, are you not learning? If you see a loophole, you're patching that loophole. Will that loophole come again? You would rather find another one. And the more you keep finding them, you keep patching them. That's how I learned. I learned by, when I meet people, there was one time I was talking to someone who studied psychology. I said, you study psychology in school, but me, I have my own in me. Like I'm a born psychologist. I will stay with you for 2 weeks, and I will tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. You see my staff telling you, if she tells you to do this, please do not go against it, because you will see that thing playing out. It's just a gift. I happened to discover mine. You can discover yours. At your quiet time, just discover yours, and then you will see it. So when I talk to people, how I learn is, I have somebody that I wanted to talk to. This person had a very high IQ. Very high IQ. I don't know how you can talk to that person and without falling or, mixing some words. I just told myself, how will I talk to this person? How will I make this person understand what I was saying? And I used what I used on my children. Okay, so my children, I tried as much as possible to at least make them know that the world is not a bed of roses. I didn't take them to the highest of schools. I didn't take them to schools that will be feeding them with things that will make them be working like agric. No. I took them to schools that would make them know that life itself is difficult. You have to experience different shades of life, so that whatever you meet yourself, whatever life throws at you, you'll be able to accommodate it. You won't see yourself falling. You have to go under the rain, so that anytime during youth service, if rain beats you, you'll be able to withstand it. Then your body has adjusted to it. You can't be living like an ajebota and then rain falls and beats you. You will see some of them will be in hospital for 2 weeks. And then, so in doing that, I made them, they grew up to have, I think my eldest is 20 years, and my youngest is 7. So, when you talk to them, at some level, they have a high level of IQ. Yes, it's a good thing, but could be very difficult to communicate with such people. In also answering your question, I will use that as an example. When my daughter wanted to enter university, she was telling me she would go to this school, she would go to that school, and she would go to school in Ekpe. I said, okay, I'm listening to you. I tried as much as possible to let her see reasons with me. And she said no. I said, okay, I will tell you that I'm your mother. I know you have a high IQ, but I birthed you. I said, okay, no problem. I agree. You will go to that school you want to go to, but we need to do something. I had to give her somebody whom they saw as a mentor. He was a lesson teacher at that point. But they grew to like him because of his exposure. And then I said, okay, you will visit these schools with that person. You will give me your own report. And that person will give me his own report. That's all I need you to do for me. And when you finish in giving me your report, simple, just write for me. I have visited these schools. Mom, I have visited this school. I have visited this one. I have visited this one. You have seen it. It's not as if somebody is telling you, right? You went there yourself with somebody whom you see as a mentor. Okay. Now give me reasons why you think you do not want to go to the school. Give me reasons why you think you want to go to this school. That was what I used. And she came back. She wrote the different, she was supposed to give me a report. I had received my own report from the mentor I sent. When she was giving me a report, she was writing this one. Why I don't want to go to this school. She listed it. Why I think I want to go there, she listed it. She listed this one, she listed it. When she was saying it, in fact, she got to a place, she said, Mommy, you, Now I've realized that thing you were trying to tell me. Now I have realized that the main reason why I did not want to go to this school, you were trying to tell me, they are the major reasons why I should want to go to this school. Do you understand it? She herself found that out. You know, when I was explaining it to her, it wasn't making sense. But she found out herself in listing it out. So even herself was telling herself, these are the main reasons I should even want to go to this school. But I'm telling myself, these are not the reasons. Now I see. I am so sorry. I will never doubt you again. You see it. I had used one stone to kill so many birds. She was the one even telling me the things I was yet to tell her. She had realized it in that simple experience. The same thing happened when I came home and they were like, my mom is a perfectionist. She would always complain. When you do this, she'll complain. When you do that, she'll complain. I didn't want to waive that. I said it when I was talking, to not overlook reviews, positive or negative. It is not me. If you give me 80%, I want to know why you took out that 20. Because it will help me to build myself. And next time when you will evaluate me, you will score me 100. Because I would have built on that 20% you threw away. I will ask you. And so I asked. I said, sorry. You said I was, if you do this, I will not, if you do this, I will complain. If you do. She said, yes. I said, okay. I will talk to you the way I used to talk to you, by giving you an example. Okay, you have a child. You come home. You see everywhere tattered. Everywhere disarranged, scattered. And then you ask them, why is this here? Why is this like this? And everybody starts saying, I'm sorry, mommy. I'm sorry. And they started, putting everything in place. And the house became sparkling clear. And then you have another set of children whom when you come home, everywhere, everything is where it's meant to be. And then you're before God and God says, what type of children do you want me to grant to you? What will you say? You said, now, how can you add this one? Is that those children that will do that thing without being told? Before you come home, they have everywhere is clean. You're coming in with a visitor, everywhere is clean. I will be very happy. I'm not the kind of children I want to. I said, thank you for answering my question. That is the kind of child I want you to be. That is what I want. I do not want to have to tell you every time, this is like this. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? I want children that when I come in, everywhere you have done what you're supposed to do without being told that you're meant to do that. And she said to me, now I understand. It's not everybody you have to go through that. You have to stress yourself like that to make them understand something. Those are the kind of children I have. But I have raised myself. At some point they were telling me, you're the mother we deserve. If we had another mother, we would have gotten away with a lot of things. But you will insist. Because I will tell you, by fire, by force, you will. Except I didn't bet you. But if I betted you, you will. Because you can't grow past me when it comes to, yes, you can be successful more than me. That's a prayer of every parent. But then, before you grow past that level of knowing what to do, you have to bend and receive such. So I hope I've answered your question. Start. Tell yourself, I'm starting today. I will start this thing today. Just start it. You will have, oh my God. But you look back and be like, I don't understand. Was I not here yesterday? Okay, if I tell you people this is the very first time I would ever hold a microphone, to address unfamiliar faces. Will you people believe it? Will you believe it? I've been telling myself I cannot do this. I can't. AY, please leave me. I am not ready. That was what I was telling. I'm not ready. Don't worry, I'll be ready. You'll be the one that will run. I'll be ready. Give me 1-2 years. That's procrastination. Look at me today. And now I have started it. There is no stopping for me. So this is my beginning of, it's the beginning of mentorship for me. That journey. I never knew I had it in me, you know. Personally, they will tell you, anytime we come to talk to you, we'll learn from you. Anytime we do this, I keep hearing it. But I've never put it to, I've never held the microphone to address people like this. I wouldn't want to rate myself, but I know for the first time, I'm sure if I didn't tell you people, you people will not know. You have been doing it. This is my first time. And you're asking me for advice. So that for me is growth.